fuel rates affect your bill. You should also be aware that changes in household activities affect your bill. Ask yourself these questions. Have the rates changed? Have there been more people at your home? Have your children been on holiday? Have you used your fan or air conditioning unit more often to beat the heat? Are any of your electrical appliances or equipment faulty? Have you added any new appliances such as transformers, water heaters, or pumps? Make it a habit to understand any changes on your electricity bill. For more factors that affect your bill, visit www.grenlec.com. Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
With the details to the news for Tuesday, November 1st, 2022, I am Chrisanne Mitchell. The Deacon Mitchell-led administration says priority will be given to improving and transforming the health and wellness sector during the first term in office. Prime Minister and Minister for Finance, Honorable Deacon Mitchell, made the announcement on Monday at the government's town hall meeting at the Grenada Trade Center Annex. The meeting is part of consultations and sessions held island-wide leading up to the presentation of the 2022-2023 budget on December 7th. Honorable Mitchell said the health sector will be prioritized to begin the government's transformative agenda. However, 5 other sectors will be given precedence, namely the education sector with emphasis on youth and sports, agriculture, food security and marine economy, physical and digital infrastructure, culture and creative economy, and energy transition and the environment. As part of plans to achieve transformation in health and wellness, investments will be made to construct a new hospital, procure equipment and resources, and provide training for medical personnel.
We have prioritized health, and Senator Lacrette, on whose able shoulders that sector falls on, will lead that charge. There are a couple of things we commit to achieving within this term. The first being the construction of a new hospital deserving of the kind of care that all citizens of P.T. Martin, Carriacou, and Grenada deserve. We recognize that a new hospital in and of itself isn't going to solve the challenges that we face in healthcare. And therefore, significant resources will be placed in one, paying better remuneration to our current healthcare workers, whether they be nurses, doctors, or other support staff. 2, training more nurses, more doctors, and more support staff to meet the current and future needs of the population. Health affects every single member of Grenada. Hence the need to transform it. It is not a sector that affects one set of persons. Everyone is impacted by the quality or the lack thereof of our healthcare services.
Government will move swiftly, he said, to digitize medical records to advance the delivery of healthcare not only at the hospital level, but at the community facilities. The decision to transform the health and wellness sector augurs well for the development of the country's economy, as growth will influence change within other sectors.
We commit to beginning the process of digitizing all medical records within the public service, and then moving to the private sector so that we can have telemedicine available to our citizens, so that we can have mobile healthcare services available to our citizens throughout the length and breadth of Grenada. And we are satisfied that if we transform our healthcare sector, and if we improve the general quality of healthcare that is available in Grenada, more tourists will visit Grenada, more members of the diaspora will return home, and the economy of Grenada will continue to grow and continue to flourish.
Prime Minister Honorable Deacon Mitchell has assured that retroactive pension payments will be made this month as promised. Following the June 23rd general election, the new Deacon Mitchell-led administration said over $60 million in retroactive payments will be made to eligible public sector workers who retired as far back as 1985. October 10th was the deadline for submission of applications from retirees to allow sufficient time to facilitate the payment of pension benefits by November 30th. Prime Minister Mitchell is pleased that his administration will fulfill another campaign promise in a short period.
This administration said we would pay the pension, and whether it's the 15th or the 30th of November, or whether it's between the 15th and the 30th of November, the pensions are going to be paid. And I want to single out for commendation the hard-working staff at the Pension Secretariat. Who almost single-handedly is making the necessary sacrifice to ensure that this gets done. If we were interested in spreading fear and in manipulating people and in victimizing people, we didn't have to pay the pension. We could have taken the same cowardly approach taken by the other side and dance around the issue. In the same building, not so long ago, when instead of saying they would pay the pension, they were making it seem as if the world will come to an end just to give the public servants their pension. Yep. Well, the world ain't coming to an end on the 15th of November, and it ain't going to come to an end on the 30th of November, and the pensions will be paid.
It is also the intention of the government to address pension reformation in the new year to secure the needs of officers who will retire in years to come. According to Prime Minister Mitchell, if government is to fully regulate the public service, pension reformation is necessary.
I also advise that the issue of pension reform must be addressed. They indicated, and I took the advice, one at a time. And we're going one at a time. We've paid the pension. The issue of pension reform has to be addressed. We have constituted a pension reform committee. We are leaving space on that committee for the Trade Unions Council to appoint a representative to that committee. But we need to speak to the citizens of our country, and the public servants in particular. If we don't address pension reform, you may get pension on paper, but when you retire, you will not have a funded pension. And the reality, therefore, is that pension reform must happen for your sake. We are giving ourselves 12 months to address this issue in a frontal manner, and we hope that there will be active participation by the labor movement, by the Trade Unions Council, so that we can come up with a formula that works for the sustainability of public officers' pensions.
Prime Minister Mitchell made these pronouncements on Monday evening during the government's town hall meeting. Grenada increased its arrivals from the United Kingdom market with an additional flight on Sundays. Tourism and government officials welcomed the Sunday weekly flight from London Gatwick via Antigua. This brings to 3 the number of flights coming from the UK. British Airways currently operates flights to Grenada on Wednesdays and Saturdays via St. Lucia. To celebrate the additional flight, GTA hosted a small arrival ceremony at the VIP lounge at Maurice Bishop International Airport with local stakeholders and media. Tourism Minister Honorable Lennox Andrew thanked officials who are working feverishly to market the island as the destination of choice internationally. He is optimistic that the additional flight from London will increase the economic projections for the rest of 2022-2023.
With you coming here 3 times per week, we are in fact forecasting a substantial increase for the rest of the year. And having therefore come out of the pandemic, this is indeed a very good sign for the year. So we are very happy indeed for this additional flight, as it provides our visitors with even more flexibility to come here to Grenada and experience what we have to offer.
September visitor arrivals were up to 21% over September 2019, and forecasts for the rest of the year show continued growth. According to Sales and Marketing Manager at the Grenada Tourism Authority, Nicoyan Roberts, marketing strategies continue to be formulated to increase regional and international airlift.
This third weekly service out of London Gatwick into Grenada on British Airways is significant because it recognizes the collaboration, the cohesion between all of the travel and tourism partners in the public and in the private sector. Last November, the Grenada Tourism Authority brought in 14 of the top selling tour operators from London to have a travel agent and a tour operator partner symposium at the Royalton, and this was to signify how much we wanted to bring that distribution channel to Grenada to meet with the hotel partners to discuss all of the marketing and promotional strategies to get more visitors from Europe, from Britain into Grenada. Right now, the GTA continues to work with its travel and tourism partners to look at the regional airlift capacity to see how that too can be ramped up.
Representing the British High Commission, Miss Deborah Cudjoe is excited that UK travelers have more options to enjoy Grenada.
Lack of options often lead to, just pretty much giving up and not even bothering. The more options that are available, travelers are more, sort of encouraged to take that leap and to go to that destination, right? Because it then offers flexibility. So now we have 3 options for the week. There's no excuse. Come to Grenada.
Virgin Atlantic also operates flights to Grenada from London Heathrow, with 2 weekly flights via Barbados on Tuesdays and Fridays from November 1st, 2022. This is the National Report. The news will continue after the break.
Prepare for hurricane. Prepare for hurricane. Make sure you have your radio and your batteries too. Waterproof flashlight, candles will do. Tin stuff, garbage bag, first aid kit. Come on people, make sure you have it. Clean water in a container and a hurricane plan. Hear me no man.
Hurricane damage is beyond your control. Surviving the aftermath is up to you. Have a hurricane plan. It can save your life and your family too.
Prepare for hurricane. Your hair, prepare for hurricane.
Welcome back. Health officials are assessing the need for early childhood education in schools to build awareness on the significant impact of cancer on families and the country's health sector. This as the Ministry of Health and other organizations culminate the 2022 month of activities in October in commemoration of Cancer Awareness. Health Promotion Officers Roxanne Benjamin and Xiomara Andal-Lewis appeared on the televised health program The Next Chapter on Monday with Communications Officer Kevin Frederick to outline the way forward for cancer awareness and promotion. Statistics show from 2016 to 2019, over 30 women died from breast cancer in Grenada. According to Benjamin, having access to information at an earlier age can make a difference in reducing breast cancer statistics and improving lifestyle decisions.
Starting with the younger population is extremely important because, as you rightfully said in the beginning, cancer in most cases is a lifestyle disease. So if persons are aware that, okay, yes, we need to make adjustments to what we eat, how we sleep, whether or not we exercise, having that information at an earlier age could make a difference as to whether or not you come down, not just with breast cancer, but with any other type of cancer as they age.
Andal-Lewis said the time has come for a shift in culture to encourage more awareness of body changes and other related issues among young girls that may have been tabooed for years. She stressed the importance of introducing this type of awareness from a tender age in schools.
Younger women are developing faster, their breasts are getting bigger earlier, they're also seeing their menstrual cycles way earlier, and so they're exposed to this high level of estrogen. So I believe we need to tackle it at its base, the root of where it will start. That's where we tackle it, and I think that's the road we need to go down, because when we cultivate that into our women and even our men as well, by the time they are older, they know how to look at their bodies. For some reason, the culture that we're made up in here We don't like to look at our bodies. We don't want to look at ourselves in the mirror. We don't have a lot of self-love and so on. But it's very important because you can catch it. If it is that you're at risk of developing breast cancer, you can catch it in its early stage once you know where to look, how to look, and how you feel. Once we incorporate that, and it becomes a norm, I believe eventually everybody would follow suit. But because we take like a little back seat and then we introduce it when they're a little bit older, the younger ones tend to take a step back because they think, I won't get it anytime soon, let me wait. Not knowing that society is changing, our bodies are evolving differently, and so we need to take it at its core.
Finally, in the news, 500,000 euros has been allocated for the implementation of the Grenada OECS Integrated Landscape Management Project, geared towards strengthening the resilience and adaptive capacity of Grenada to improve food security and secure global environmental benefits. Recently, a team from the OECS ILM project implementation unit and the central component of the EU-funded Landscape for Our Future program conducted the first learning mission in Grenada, where they visited the two target sites, Grand Bras and Grand Bacolet estates. A consultation was also held and a stakeholder mapping exercise conducted as part of plans to introduce Landscapes for Our Future program to Grenada's context, its challenges, and to get a better understanding of the national application of the OECS ILM initiative. Grenada's project, which is termed Restoration of Abandoned or Underutilized Croplands, is aimed at rehabilitating cocoa and nutmeg fields at the estates, cultivating fruit trees, vegetable and root crops, improving farm access roads, and training. Joseph Noel is the focal point of the OECS Island project.
What we're hoping to accomplish on those two project sites is include rehabilitation of the cocoa and nutmeg fields and so on those sites, rehabilitation of the tree crop plots, the root crop plots, etc. We are also going to be addressing the access roads on those estates, so looking to get them cleared, graded, binded. Also, we are going to be providing training.
Researcher Natalia Cisneros says in observing the operations at the different sites, she is eager to see how this project will assist the vulnerable.
From what we have seen so far, there are big strengths with the project, especially because they are continuing with work that was it's building on work that has already been done. So that is something that not every project always has, and that is definitely a very big strength. We also see how in these projects a special emphasis is given to stakeholders that are in vulnerable situations. In this case, like it's women, youth, and people who don't necessarily have access to livelihoods or to funds.
Scientist with the Center for International Research, Peter Cronkleton, speaks of the potential of this project in contributing to Grenada's food and nutrition security.
It's going to be an interesting experience in providing lessons on strategies for restoring lands that were either underutilized or abandoned or affected by hurricanes in the past. So this project has a lot of potential to provide lessons that could be used by the government, by private industry, and by farmers to continue to use land productively when it's been affected by natural disaster.
That story has brought us to the end of the National Report for today, Tuesday, November 1st, 2022. On behalf of the entire news and production team here at the Government Information Service, I am Chris Mitchell saying thank you for joining us.